Okay, language and literature teachers, welcome to your ATL skill for semester 2, quarter 4, which is RAP. So this ATL skill fits really well with your subject. It's taken from the skill organizer of communication, and the narrower cluster then is communication through language. So it's perfect for your subject. The specific strand that you'll be focused on over this quarter is paraphrasing, how to paraphrase concisely and accurately through the model RAP. So RAP is basically steps in which to paraphrase. It's three simple ways. Step 1, read the paragraph, or it could even be section of writing, so section of a text. Step 2, ask yourself the following question. What were the main idea and details in this paragraph? And then step 3, put those ideas and details, or the main idea and details, in your own words. Okay, so really simple, really straightforward and easy to follow. So your students may potentially ask you questions, particularly those maybe ESL or lower grades, might ask you what is paraphrasing. So don't forget to just go slowly with it, explain what it is and why it's important. So here I've just put a few answers to different questions that they might ask. So paraphrasing is translating, putting that information into your own words, and this is a really important skill as we really want to encourage our students not to plagiarize and to learn what is the difference between taking that information and then putting it into your own words, so they will understand what they're reading and they'll be more likely to remember it in the future. They may ask, when should I use RAP? We want to encourage them that they can use this strategy anytime that they're reading something that's in paragraph form and they want to remember that information. And we can encourage them by trying to do this on a weekly basis in our classes or through homework or in any way like that. Okay, and lastly then, if they're asking, but why should I use this, teacher? I can read and I can understand without needing to go through this step by step. Which is true, many students can, but research does show that after using this strategy or using this kind of paraphrasing strategy, that they will be able to not just remember the material better, but be able to answer questions about the text or the paragraph much better at their grade level. Okay, so it really increases comprehension, which is what we all want, isn't it? So the next one is just a breakdown of the step-by-step. So the first one, really simple, read the paragraph. As you read, encourage your students, think about what the words mean. This step-by-step you might only do, in your first week. It might only be with your lower grade levels, but just really encourage you to break it down, make it really simple, and encourage them that they do it right the first time, and then you support them, and then they can do it independently later on as they feel more confident with it. So step 2 is really important. Encourage them how to find the main idea. So they can do this by asking the question, what is the paragraph about? You can do this with, I haven't given you an example because you know best what text you want your students to be reading. So just make sure whatever you're going to do as a sample text together as a class or in small groups, you've already read it first. So perhaps you can ask them, tell them what the main idea is, and then get them to read the paragraph and find the information of why you've decided that's the main idea. Or you read it and then they find the main idea and you know whether they're right or wrong because you've read it. So initially you need to really support them so that they know what the main idea is that they're looking at. And then the details that are left over in a paragraph, after you name the main idea, they're the facts that they'll need to remember for a discussion in class or for a test. So that's what they need to be doing at that second step. And you need to be able to know what it is that they're reading to help them identify that information that they need. So keywords that they can draw out. And then step 3 is the key one, put the main idea and details in your own words. So taking that and making the information your own, changing it so that it makes sense to you and helps you to remember it. So you might want to do this straight away as writing. You might want to encourage them to do it as orally together, as in pairs or in groups. So put the information in your own words, look away from the paragraph and make a statement about it. So that's the third step, and that really is to encourage students not to plagiarize, but to make it your own. So how could you link this to your subject? How can you do this? It's possible to do it on a weekly basis. I'd really encourage you for the first, at least first time or second time, to do it as a class. Perhaps you could do it as a jigsaw reading exercise if you have numerous paragraphs of a chosen text. That way then they can peer assess paragraphs, or they can peer teach based on what they've read from that one paragraph if you've got a lot to try and get through. You can start off doing it as pair work, so they've got support from one another, and then move into individual work. You can do it in the classroom, and then eventually as it goes on and they've developed more confidence doing rap, they can do it as homework. It's entirely up to you as the teacher. You know your students best and how they can use it, but this is really simple, straightforward method of reading, identifying key information, and then paraphrasing it. And so there are, if you look in the folder, there are some posters that have been made for you. You can print out, put around your classroom. There's a worksheet or two which you can use. You can edit if you wish. It's probably more suitable for lower grades, just as that framework for them to focus on the different steps and what it is, and then they can use that. So just to recap, step 1 is read the paragraph. Step 2, ask yourself what is the main idea and what are the details. And then step 3 is put the main idea and details in your own words. So I want to encourage you to try and use this. It's really simple, straightforward, so I haven't got any other examples for you. I'm sure that you're able to use this in your classroom. And when you do, just don't forget to put it in your lesson plans. Just quickly put in the side that you're using rap and that lesson, and it really helps us to see how it's used, and will help the students hopefully to be able to paraphrase effectively and understand and engage with the material, and to be able to effectively understand it for themselves. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for listening.